All right, if you are in the market to buy a new or used car, I need you to do me a favor. Just count to three. 1, 2, 3. And look around at your local market conditions before you agree to pay anything at a dealership. And Pops, the reason I'm saying this is because we see all sorts of crazy quotes that come in to CarEdge every single day. And this is one of them from Orsman Automotive Group. We've got a 2022 Mazda CX-5 used, 11,682 miles, a 2.5 turbo signature, Dad, and you can see it on your end. What is jumping out on the screen when you look at this deal?
What's jumping out? How about Icon? How about Crystal Fusion? How about that $2,000 germ bath? Because God knows I want to have clean germs. Okay, so. Every vehicle has to have a $2,000. I mean, during the height of the pandemic, I don't think hospitals charged $2,000 to put you in a room that they had just cleaned. It wasn't. I mean, realistically, what is all this nonsense? Crystal Fusion. I mean, that sounds like some type of drug sold on the street.
Icon sounds like it could be a drug. I mean, these all sound like drugs. This is terrible, Dad. And the thing is, this was originally a $38,000 MSRP vehicle. I think I got that right. Let me double check. Yeah, $38,650 original MSRP, brand new. Now, the vehicle's got almost 12,000 miles on it, and it's used. And this dealership wants you out the door at $42,000, essentially getting you up to a selling price of over $39,000 with all these add-ons. That's $8,000 in add-ons, Dad. That's ridiculous. CarEdge.com, all sorts of free resources back there, Dad. Like what?
Oh, I don't know. What's your car going to depreciate over time? How much is your insurance going to be? What should you expect to pay for fuel? It's all there. All that information in one place. Yeah, I don't want to suggest that Icon, Crystal Fusion, and Germ Bath are inordinately overpriced BS crap that Orsman Automotive Group is forcing as separate line items on a pre-owned car. This was so that they could advertise the car on, I'm sure they advertised it on their website at $31,599, and then broke it to you gently when you got there to take a look at the car. Oh, well, there's Icon for another $3,000, and then there's the Crystal Fusion, which, if you don't want it, I'm sure you could sell it in dime bags all over town trying to get your money back. And then the $2,000 germ bath to get this car with 12,000 miles up to $400 more, $434 more than what its original MSRP was. If they're not ashamed of themselves, okay, if they don't see this as something that a consumer would look at and go, this is just absolute BS, and this is why I hate dealerships, then they need to reevaluate what they're doing. They need to open their eyes. They need to think along the lines of how a customer would perceive that. And I'm not the customer, but the way I perceive it is you're just reaching into somebody's pocket trying to extract an extra $8,000 from them for what? $500,000 worth of stuff, $1,500? I don't even know what the crap is. Okay. Especially the germ bath and the Crystal Fusion. I mean, literally, it sounds like stuff you would get at the on the corner, I know. Late at night.
This is why, though, I said you have to understand your local market conditions. This is a success story for a 2023 Mazda CX-50 from Nathan in our community forum. Different vehicle. I got it. Different region. I got it. Magnitudes of scale here. Just let this sink in. Purchased my first car today, a new 2023 Mazda CX-5 Preferred Plus. Final deal was $683 off of MSRP with no dealer markup or added accessories. Was also able to get their Tier 1 4.9% rate for 63 months through Mazda financing despite a short credit history. Nathan goes on to shout out to the car coaches here at CarEdge. Dad, our success stories channel is flooded with Mazda success stories on new ones because Mazda actually has a lot of inventory. And then you've got a dealer like this, Orsman, just hoping, not even hoping, strategically advertising what is probably an incredibly low price relative to competition on this vehicle just to get people in the door, just to try and get them closed at the dealership. This is again, why you have to understand market conditions 101 before you go into the dealership. And I got another one for you here, Dad. This is for a 2021 Ford F-150, 37,800 miles on it. It's got Edge. It's got Ancira protection package. It's got low jack. Next thing you know, you're up another $2,700 on this out the door price just as well. And another gimmick that they've done here, they've listed the MSRP in retail as the selling price of the vehicle. That's not the MSRP of this vehicle.
No. It's a used vehicle, so it's a selling price. It's not an MSRP. MSRP stands for manufacturer suggested retail price. Okay, and pre-owned cars don't have a manufacturer suggested retail price. They have a dealer selling price or a dealer asking price, but they don't have an MSRP. I'm sorry, they don't.
MSRP on this one, Dad, was $60,105. So it's another way to deceive customers. And again, you don't have to look too far. Go to the community forum, search around. You're not paying over original MSRP on a 2-year-old Ford F-150 with 38,000 miles on it. That's just not a fair deal in today's market. So here's the moral of the story. Car dealers are still trying to pull one over on unsuspecting customers. And it's not all dealers. We know plenty that are trying to be more fair about pricing. They understand the implications of holding on to inventory while it's losing value, things like that. Plenty of dealers. We just demonstrated 2 from our community. These are the way we get these deals is people work with our car coaches. They send them in. They ask us for advice, okay? You should not go into this situation without doing your research, whether it's watching the videos, reading community forums like ours and others, or talking to people who work hundreds of deals every single week. You need to do your research because dealers are still doing this, Dad, and they're just waiting on someone to come in and say, you mean I really have to take that Crystal Fusion Icon for $3,000? Oh, okay, if you say I have to. No, practice saying that word. No.
Always say that word. And remember, all that crap is negotiable. Okay, it's just an ask, and you can either accept it, reject it, or amend it. If it were me, I would be rejecting most of that stuff if I could, and if I couldn't get them to just take it off completely, certainly figure out ways to negotiate the cost of those items down, because they are some of the most egregious, overpriced items I've ever seen listed, especially on that Oarsman deal from a dealer. It's just insanity.